What's up guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video I'm going to be sharing my most and least anticipated haunted houses for Halloween Horror Nights and the 5 scare zones. As you guys know, Halloween Horror Nights 32 starts September 1st through November 4th, select nights. I cannot wait for that, so make sure you subscribe for more HHN content because I'm planning to go a lot this year. So my first anticipated house is Stranger Things, which is no surprise there, that is one of my favorite TV shows. Now Stranger Things 4 is try to escape the curse of Vecna. You'll need your squad to resist Vecna's gruesome curse. Like 11, now is your chance to stop him once and for all as you take on the scariest season of Stranger Things yet. So the reason why this is my #1 anticipated house because like I said, Stranger Things is one of my favorite TV shows and of all time, and basically I just love Stranger Things, and I never visited or went to a haunted house with Stranger Things back in 2018 because my first HHN was in 2020, which was HHN30, and this is my second event for HHN32. So this is my most anticipated house and I cannot wait to go through it, especially with Vecna. It's like season 4. If you have not watched it already, please go watch it so you guys know when you get into the house you're more comfortable and you know the story of this house, because for sure it is my most anticipated house, and that's why it's #1 for me. Second anticipated house is Monsters Unmasked. Who doesn't love Universal Monsters, especially when they're in their scariest and they're like very like horrifying moments. So Universal Monsters Unmasked, 4 Universal Monsters, 1 new nightmare. Descend into the Paris catacombs where you and your squad will face a new herd of monsters: Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Phantom of the Opera, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the Invisible Man. Now I might butcher some names there because I'm not familiar with monsters. I'm very young, so I have no idea about all these monsters. I do know the Hunchback and I know the Invisible Man, but the other two I have no idea. But the reason why it is my second most anticipated haunted house is because it's monsters. It's Universal Monsters, it's classic, and it's gonna be very horrifying. So I cannot wait. And when I went back in HHN30, which was in the year 2020, there was a monsters house, which is, I think it was like the Legends Collide house. That was one of my favorite houses, so I know Universal is going to do a great job with this house. My third anticipated house, I know all annual pass holders are very obsessed with this, or if you're not an annual pass holder and you're just obsessed with Universal and went back when Islands of Adventure first opened, Dueling Dragons. The reason why this is my third most anticipated house is because I hope this is 2 houses in one. Basically, you can choose each side. With the roller coaster where Hagrid's is at right now, you can choose each side. You can be the hot side, the hot dragon side, or the ice cold dragon. So hopefully it's 2 houses in one. I don't know what Universal Creative has created, but if it's not 2 houses in one, if it's just 1 house and they're fighting against each other, that's fine. But it would be awesome if they created 2 houses in one and you can choose either side of the house, so it's a different experience each and every time. With the Dueling Dragons, choose thy faith. No matter who you choose, you lose. 2 warlocks of great power were turned into dragons after trying to make Merlin's spellbook. Now you and your friends are caught in the epic battle. You must choose a path and a victor. Now my fourth and most anticipated house is a original house as well from Universal Creative, and that is Yeti Campground Kills. Yeti Campground Kills, Yeti or not, here they come. You and your friends are about to venture into the 1950s campground overrun by huge, menacing Yetis who rip apart anyone who gets in their way. You see, I knew it. You must flee to the Ranger Tower to escape. How are you gonna climb a Ranger Tower? Can Yetis climb? Can they chop that Ranger Tower off and just eat you and rip you apart anyways? Let's see, because that's why they said try to escape. Like, it's not even you're gonna escape and survive. No, you're gonna try to escape. So we don't even know what's gonna happen. So that's what is my 4th most anticipated house, because everything is a mystery and it's from Universal Creative, so I know it's gonna be very good. My 5th anticipated house is Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. And the reason why it is my 5th is because I know someplace they're gonna have Jack, I don't know if Jack is going to be a person or he's just going to be a hidden figure in the haunted house. And that's going to be exciting because I'm going to say this right now to the Universal and HHN gods. I know after this year, for HHN33, there's going to be, Jack is coming back. For sure, I know next year, he's going to be coming back. Because if they're telling the story of Dr. Oddfellow, and this is way before Jack, or maybe the story of how he hired Jack, and then Jack basically like backstabbed him and killed him and stuff like that, to take over the circus and to do his own thing. Maybe that's the story heading into next year, because next year is HHN33. Wink, wink, you know what that means. Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins, your soul is a price he's willing to pay. You won't be able to resist going inside Dr. Oddfellow's menacing of twisted Otis. Ooh. But the price for you and your friends is steep. The cost of your souls to feed his immortal power. So is he talking about his immortal power, like Dr. Oddfellow's immortal power, or Jack? I don't know, because Dr. Oddfellow looks like the voodoo donut guy, if you guys know what I mean. Like, you know, like the donut that's in City Walk that you can purchase, all the different kinds of donuts. He looks like a voodoo guy. So is he that? I don't know. That's why we're gonna go through the haunted house. So that's why it is my 5th most anticipated house, because this is another one from an original house from Universal Creative. So these other houses are my 5th least anticipated houses. It doesn't mean that it can change throughout the event the more I visit, but these are my 5th least anticipated houses. So the 6th least anticipated houses is The Exorcist Believer. I'm not really a fan of The Exorcist. I've only seen the first film a couple times, so I'm not really a huge fan. And this is a movie that I have not watched yet. Obviously, this movie comes out October 13th, so during Halloween Horror Nights, so it depends when you visit after October 13th and stuff like that. But the trailer already gave me the anticipation of what the house is going to look like. I just hope that they like do like a nod to the original Exorcist in this house, maybe, or maybe not, I don't know. The Exorcist Believer, an evil reawakened. 2 missing girls have been found with no memory of what happened to them, but wherever they went, the ultimate evil has returned with them. Enter the most terrifying scenes from the new Blumhouse film. Now the 7th one is The Last of Us. The reason why I have that as my least anticipated house, because basically I don't play video games, and it's basically a video game house, and then it's a series. I've never watched the series. I'm not interested in watching the series, and I'm not interested in playing video games. I don't play video games like that. So that's why it probably is my 7th least anticipated house. It might change though, the house might be good, but right now it's on the 7th spot. The Last of Us. Step into the world of The Last of Us. You and your squad will encounter the haunting and overgrown world of the video game in a brand new terrifying way. Stay silent if you want to survive a multitude of clickers, hunters, and more. So I'm guessing the clickers are the zombie looking mushroom type of dudes. And I'm saying dudes because it just makes sense, you know, mushroom dudes. I don't know, could be ladies, I have no idea. But we're gonna find out when we go to Halloween Horror Nights. Those things look hideous. I don't think I can eat after I see one. So hopefully I don't see one like that. I can't say that. So this house might change. This house might go into my most anticipated the more I go through it. But right now it's in the 7th spot. So we're gonna keep that in the 7th spot until we go visit, obviously. But that's my least anticipated house for right now. So my 8th anticipated house is Chucky. You all know the story about Chucky since the 80s. A little doll, a little midget doll that just cuts you and just, I don't get it. I don't get it why you just can't take the knife from the doll, kick the doll, shred the doll, and he's gone. Like, I don't know why. I know the doll is possessed. I know it's somebody else in the doll, but I just don't get it. It's very annoying, and that's why I haven't seen the sci-fi version, but this might not be the sci-fi version this year. I think Universal changed that last minute because the house name is now different. Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Chucky's back for even more carnage. Chucky, the serial killer doll, is back for a new gore fest. He's hijacked his own haunted house with all kinds of bloody hijacks. You and your friends must try to survive his ultimate kill count. I'm gonna say this right now. This is this house is gonna be this year's fun house, basically. So yeah, so that's gonna be this year's fun house. So am I move to my most anticipated or just stay in 8th place? Now my 9th and 10th least anticipated houses is from Universal Creative. Universal Creative does a great job, so these two houses might move to the most anticipated houses the more I visit the event, but those two are the Darkest Deal and Blood Moon Dark Offerings. Now the Darkest Deal, fame is fleeting, fear is forever. Blues musician Pine Straw Spruce will have to face the music after meeting the Collector and trading his soul for musical glory. You and your squad learn the terrible price of fame. So the 10th spot right now is Blood Moon Dark Offerings. In a Colonia era village, moon worshippers witness a blood moon at their fall festival. They take it as a sign to hunt down any non-followers, including you and your Scream squad. That's all my most and least anticipated haunted houses. There's 10 haunted houses this year, and now I'm gonna go to the 5 scare zones. So from my most anticipated to my least anticipated. My most anticipated scare zone is Dr. Oddfellow's collection of horror. Dr. Oddfellow will lure you into Halloween Horror Nights with a promise of immortality. As he lifts the veil on all the horrors to come, you'll soon realize you may not even survive the night. In my most anticipated scare zone, all the scare zones have something in common. Dr. Oddfellow is in all of them, and they all come, they're like from the 60s. Basically, they range from the 30s all the way to the 60s. So all the scare zones are from the 30s all the way to the 60s. So it's gonna make sense when you go in them, and they have little hidden stuff. Hopefully we see like a Jack in the box and some of the scare zones, or maybe the haunted houses, because like I said, I know Jack is gonna be coming next year. Cross my fingers, because that's HHN32, baby. Like, that has to come. So hopefully. But yeah, this is my most anticipated scare zone. This is gonna be the scare zone right as you walk into the park. You're gonna see probably like the Pumpkin Lord. Last year he was like on a stage surrounded by his pumpkin. We're gonna see something like that, the same thing with Dr. Oddfellow. My second anticipated scare zone is Vamp 69 Summer of Blood. At a 60s music fest in a small New York town, you'll jam to popular bands with fellow concert goers until Dr. Oddfellow unleashes vicious vampires on the audience. They're out for your blood. My third anticipated one is Jungle of Doom Expedition Horror. In the 1920s, Dr. Oddfellow ventured deep into the darkest jungle, performing horrific experiments on nature. Now his monstrous creations are running amok and are coming after you. So we're probably gonna see a lot of like monkeys or some weird creatures that we have never seen before, because he does experiments. Like I said, I think he's like a voodoo guy. So that's probably why Jack came up and stuff like that. So now the story's kind of making sense, and it's gonna make even more sense when we go into his haunted house and into the scare zones on how basically Jack was created, or he was hired, or I don't know how that story goes, but we're gonna learn more of that story. But Jungle of Doom is gonna be my third anticipated scare zone, because it's the jungle and there's gonna be a lot of smoke, a lot of fog, and there's gonna be some weird creatures just jumping in and out to scare you. My fourth anticipated scare zone is Dark Zodiac. Dr. Oddfellow has entered a dark dimension to harness the power of the Zodiac and live forever. He twists the signs into violent beings who foretell your doom. As his star rises, yours falls. Last but not least, my fifth not most anticipated, but my least anticipated scare zone is Shipyard 32 Horrors Unhinged. Enter a 1940s San Francisco shipping yard full of mysterious crates and cages bearing Dr. Oddfellow's symbol. Beware, his nightmarish oddities have now escaped, spreading fear and chaos in their wake. So that is it for my most to least anticipated haunted houses and scare zones. Those are all the 10 houses and all the 5 scare zones that are coming to HHN32 this year. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your most anticipated list? Does it match mine, or is it different? Let me know in the comments down below. Share yours, maybe we might have something in common. And stay tuned for more videos for HHN, because I plan on going 2 to 3 times this year, doing every single house, reviewing that for you. The lists are gonna change from scare zones and the haunted houses that I just listed in this video. And of course, there's gonna be snacks, hopefully fried Oreos. I haven't tried that yet, and there's gonna be snacks. Universal hasn't posted that yet, so stay tuned for that. Oh, and I also forgot, the Death Eaters are supposed to come to HHN because that was in the speculation map, and the event map still shows the Death Eaters. So Universal hasn't announced it yet, so I don't know if it's gonna be like during normal park hours for Mondays and Tuesdays, because Halloween Horror Nights is from Wednesdays all the way to Sundays. So do they have it like 2 times a week, or is it going to be during HHN? So Horror Nights hasn't announced that yet, so we're still looking for that announcement for the Death Eaters. So once they do, I'll put like a little short on my YouTube channel. So with that being said, go live life, do what you love, and remember, always follow your dreams. Bye guys.